モデレーターの吉田秀美さん、どうぞよろしくお願いします。
はい、吉田です。よろしくお願いします。今年の7月にマレーシアとインドネシアを訪問しまして、このプロジェクト、ソリダリダードの活動を実際に見せていただきました。そして今までサステナビリティに関する、農業で環境に良い実践って、イメージでは持ってたんですけれども、実際にこうやって見せていただいて、細かい、ここにこうやって、葉っぱの長さ、この辺で、この下に巻けば肥料が効率的に吸収されるんだよっていうことを、実際にラオさんに説明していただいたりして、それがどれだけ、実践上重要だかということを実感いたしました。というわけで、今回は、まさに土壌の本当に科学者、専門家でいらっしゃる藤井先生をお願いして、そのメカニズムを説明していただいた上で、ソリダリダードの活動を紹介させていただくことにしました。それによって、ソリダリダードのみんながですね、科学的な根拠に基づいて、地に足のついた活動をしているということが分かっていただけるかと思いまして、今回こういうウェビナーに、させていただきました。ではですね、ここから時間を限られているんですが、ディスカッションをしていきたいと思います。まず、画面を共有させていただきます。今日は3つのお題を用意してありまして、まずですね、せっかくですので、お互いにそれぞれの、スピーチ、講演を聞いて、どのような意見、コメントを持たれがあるのか、感想を持たれたのか、これについて話をしていただきたいと思います。まずですね、藤井先生の講義について、ラオさんのエニーさんからコメントをいただきたいと思います。補足があればそれも結構ですし、いや、ここは違うっていう現場ではこう思ってるって、そういった反論でもいいかと思います。では、まず、ラオさんからお願いします。
Yeah, thank you very much. No, I think I quite agree with the research done by Mr. Fujisan. The It's a very strong research which align with what we observe. Just that recent year, we have also observed the cap of the maximum amount of oil palm plantation in Malaysia to 6.5 million hectare. This is a government policy that has been introduced. And then we do see a very strong decline in terms of deforestation. And then most of the smallholders that we intervene, we realize the oil palm does not come from forests. Actually, most of them are converted from rubber, paddy, cocoa, and previous oil palm and ideal land. And forests that come from the oil palm that come from forests in our intervention, smallholders only accounted for 4.6%, which most of the replanting happens during 1990, and the latest we have is 2006. So recent year, Malaysia government, just additional information, Malaysia government has been very strict in new replanting. So this is a positive sign that we love to see. And yeah, so there is just a little bit information, but I want to thank Fuji-san for the very informative and scientific based research and data. It actually become the core of how Solidaridad in Malaysia design our intervention to train the farmers, so that we want to bring these farmers to manage their farm more scientifically. And with that, we hope to minimize the negative impact to the environment. Thank you very much.
私、返事したらいいですか？
はい、お願いします。
ありがとうございます。逆に、私、なんかむしろ質問になって私から質問になってしまうかもしれなくて、マレーシアの場合は、私ほとんどマレーシア、コタキナバルしか行ったことがないので、あんまり、知らないんですけれど、例えばですね、ブラジルとかでは、20% を森林として維持するようにっていう ルールが、一応その森林を、土地利用を変えていくときにも一応ルールがあります。そのマレーシアではどういう基準で、そのルール作りがなされているかご存知ですか？
In Malaysia, the land do not have this unless it is for bigger plantation. Then they will have the HCV, high conservative area, or high carbon value location that to be preserved. Other than that, it's more to the government policy that they has pledged more than 50% forest cover. So at this moment, Malaysia have approximately 52.8 to 53% of the forest cover. So still, we are going to still see some development, but then it will definitely not converting forest into oil palm. So still, Malaysia pledged for the 50% forest cover means Malaysia will retain 50% of the land as a forest, which means it will not be able to sell. Now, in Malaysia, we have a permanent reserve forest and totally protected area, which in regards of what activity it was not to be able to be developed. It will keep as a forest. Now, having said that, it's also a legal requirement now in the MSPO 2.0 that any oil palm estate that convert land after 2019, 31st December, will not be able to renew their license. They will not get MSPO certification and they will not be able to renew their license. And they will have difficulty of selling their produce afterwards. So this is the current policy in Malaysia. We do not see a very specific site that you have to maintain 20%, but the government actually already gazetted a certain amount of area to be kept as a forest reserve. And then they have put in a legal requirement. After 2019, no oil palm plantation is to be able to convert from forest to oil palm. This is the current regulation. But Fuji-san, I actually will welcome very much for you to visit Malaysia so that we
Thank
can
you.
discuss more in detail.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Another question, another question. もう一つ質問があって、なんだったかな？何しようとしたかな？忘れちゃったぞ。ちょっと待ってね。何だったかな？マレーシアで、その、オイルパームが増えすぎると、実際、インドネシアでよく今まであった例としては、儲かるものをたくさん作りすぎて、値段が暴落するっていうことがよくあって、もう、ドラゴンフルーツとか昔すごい高値で売れたのに、今すごい安くなってしまって、もう、すごく悲しいことが起きている。その意味で、その油ヤシを作りすぎないことも、その持続的な経営とかにおいても重要だと思っていて、その辺は、そのことを、例えば国はちゃんとこう、意識してくれているかどうかっていうのってなんか情報ありますかね？
Yeah, so in palm oil, because the use of the palm oil it have so much derivative. You can see it in your toothpaste, cosmetic, food processing, and all the margarine and yeah, so even biodiesel. So at this moment, the price that is influencing the current price of oil palm in Malaysia is more likely related to the petroleum directly. The petroleum derivative and also the other soft oil like sunflower oil or olive oil or soya oil. It's not so much of massive production because at this moment Malaysia still utilize about 20% of the biodiesel, so we call it B20. But in Indonesia, they already move forward to B30 and even more, and they have started to use palm oil also in aviation field. This is the place where oil palm has not been in Malaysia. We have not reached there. So definitely, if the government wish to adjust the price, there are some countermeasures for them to push forward the price upward. But the issue is that oil palm has been always seen as a quality oil which can withstand high temperature frying without producing a lot of total dissolved matter. And they want to keep it at a relatively affordable price for the reason of food security. Now, if they push so much of the oil into the biodiesel or industrial usage, the consumable as a food oil, fat source for the people will become a challenges for the government to fulfill. So I think the balancing is there, but I don't see a massive discussion about the supply and demand causing the reason, because they can always increase the demand if they explore the more usage of the oil palm. So at this moment, it will be more likely maintaining the price based on the petroleum price, and also based on the the affordability for the general public to be able to enjoy a good quality oil with relatively cheaper price, because oil palm produce approximately 8 to 10 times oil per hectare compared to other soft oil. So yeah, they kind of position it that way. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. いいです。とりあえずまず。
はい。ありがとうございます。そしたら、ごめんなさい。イエニーさんにも少し登場してもらって、イエニーさん
Yes,
と、イエニーさんから何か、お二人にコメントありますか？
thank you very much for the knowledge that you share with us. Actually, for me, I'm not background in the agriculture. Of course, knowing that that we talk about the soil, lot of things that's a new thing for me, especially. But for other colleagues like Billy and Eddie, it is something that your sharing is it's very enhance our knowledge also, in which we also can embed in one of our module for the smallholder farmer to enrich the content of the module for the smallholder farmer. So for me, actually, I would like to thank to Fuji-san. Thank you very much for the sharing this knowledge.
ありがとうございます。実際、例えば、私自身の興味としては、例えば企業の、プランテーションがもっと、効率よく収穫を上げることっていうの、例えばそれは一つだし、逆にイエニーさんとかが紹介されてたように、アグロフォレストリーとか、下で野菜みたいなのを育ててるみたいなものにもっと価値があるんじゃないかと。実際それにはどういった価値があるんだろうかとか、例えば特にそれは土壌を保全するような価値があったらいいな、みたいな、そういう研究を、もう一方ではやっていたりすると。私は、なんかこう、どれも嫌いじゃないって言ったらなんですけど、どれもなんか面白いなと思ってやってるんですけれど、実際私がやってるところにもさっきアグロフォレストリーとか、下でなんかホームガーデンみたいなのがやってるのすごく綺麗だなと思って見てたんですよね。あれも、実際、土壌がどういうふうに変わっているのかなっていうのをデータとしてね、追跡したり、それを、なんだろうな、そのデータでもって、これには本当に価値があるんだよっていうことを数字でもね、証明していくことっていうのが、今特にリジェネラティブアグリカルチャーっていうのは、まだ、いろいろサーティフィケートはあるけれども、多分実際、いろんな価値が存在してて、いろんな価値が存在しているけど、実際どれが一番実際本当に、まだ実際みんなモニタリングをしている段階だと思うので、データをたくさん集めて、実際どういう、さっき私のところにも質問が一つあったんですけど、どれくらい土壌劣化は、経済的なコストがあるのかっていうこと、あるいはその逆の土壌改良とか土壌保全っていうのは実際どれだけの経済価値があるんだぞみたいな、そういったことを出していくことっていうのが、まあ、 社会的な認知度を上げていくためには大事なのかなと。私も実際バナナ農園でアグロフォレストリーやってる時には、そういうことを思いながらやってたりしますという感じです。はい。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。なかなかいい意見交換ができて、これが実際の協力につながっていけるといいなというふうに感じて聞いておりました。2つお題を残しています。今日ですね、異なる立場からいろいろ話をしていただきましたが、それぞれでサステナビリティっていうことに持ってるイメージが違うかと思うんですね。で、藤井先生は現場を知っている研究者として、ボルネオ、特に東カリマンタンの持続可能性ってどういうふうに考えていらっしゃるかを聞きたいと思います。で、ついでに、ラオさんとイエニさんにも先に質問しておきます。先進国市場からのサステナビリティ要求というのがいろいろ来ています。それに合わせていろいろ活動していると思うんですけれども、生産者ですとか、それを支援する側の視点に立つと、何か言いたいことがありますかということ、どういうふうに付き合っていきますかと、この辺を答えていただきたいと思います。
はい、
では、
私です
藤井先生
ね。はい、
からお願いします。
すごく難しいんですけど、今、インドネシアの東カリマンタンで一番、熱いことっていうのは、首都が来ると。ジャカルタからですね、ヌサンタラってところに首都が来年にも移動すると言われていまして、今、急ピッチで建設していると。でその建設の様子たるやですね、もう山を削り、もう土を垂れ流しという。正直ですね、私、土の研究者が見るとちょっとショックを受けるんですけど、それはまさしく、かつての日本の姿なんですよね。私たち日本も、土のことをさておいて、経済発展を優先してきて、今ようやく土のことが大事じゃないかと思い始めてるみたいな、そういう、もうものには順序がありましてっていう、で、だから持続性っていうことを言ったときにも、まずやっぱり暮らしの豊かさっていうものがあって、その後で考えることが多いんですけど、で、でもインドネシアに関していくと、何かって言われると、正直私が言うと、どれだけ熱帯雨林を残しておけるか、豊かさを獲得するにあたって最終的に後悔しないようにした方が、熱帯雨林にはおそらくインドネシアがこれから持続的に経済発展していくための、あの、すごく多くのリソースが多分眠っていると思うので、あとは研究としてはですね、さっき僕はブラジルだと 20% 残すっていうルールを言いましたけど、何パーセント残しておけば、なんて言うんだろう、せこい話ですけど、さっき言った、熱帯雨林が、これからインドネシアの人たちの暮らしを豊かにするだけの価値を残せるのかっていう、そういうところっていうのは、現実的なところとしては重要なことなのかなと。私は、正直ですね、ユーカリとかアブラヤシっていうのは結構土が良くなくても生えるんですよね。だから正直まだ分かってないんですよね。どれくらいが、土の、なんていうんだろう、我慢できる限界なのかっていうのが正直、まだ東カリマンタンずっと研究してるんですけど、未だにこんなところでもちゃんとアブラヤシ生えるんだ、こんなところでも、ユーカリ生えるんだと、思ってたよりも貧栄養で、ダメだと思ってる割に、トウモロコシは確かに生えないんだけれども、生えるものもあって、で、そう、ちょっと話が、あああ着地点を見失ってますけど、とりあえずそういうとこ、どれくらい、むしろ何かを分からなくて、でもどうしたら、むしろだからユーカリとアブラヤシと、ドラゴンフルーツは土が良くなくても生えるんですよ。だからあんまり、そいつらばっかりになってて油断すると本当に何も生えなくなるっていうことが、 ちょっと心配です。わからない。その限界はどこかわからないけどっていうことです。はい。
はい、ありがとうございま
はい。
す。では次、ラオさん、お願いします。
Yes, Fuji-san, fully agree with you. In Malaysia, a lot of the soy, I think mostly of our soy is Alti soy and Oxy soy. So these farmers, they do plant from coconuts, paddy, and other crops, where the government have to heavily subsidize the fertilizers. And that make the farmers less competitive compared to, for example, rice. The rice that we planted in Malaysia cost way more expensive than the rice imported from Thailand or Vietnam, even with the cost of transportation to bring to import. So, like you said, the soil condition is so bad that we do not know what's the limits, and oil palm is kind of the very safe investment for the farmers because it can tolerance a relatively bad soil condition. Farmers here recently, they wanted to plant durian because it's very expensive, but durian is very picky on the soil. If it is flooded after 10 years, the tree is matured. If it is flooded just a little bit, the tree will die. So these are the limitations that we actually consider at the back, why the farmers prefer to plant oil palm. You know, one factor, it could be because of the soil condition. Now, sorry, go back to the question for the advanced country, the EUDR due diligence. In Solidarity, we believe that we trying to rise the floor instead of rising the bar. So that's why Solidarity has been working closely with the EUDR and EU Commission, as well as the country CPOPC, Council of Palm Oil Producing Country, so that we try to communicate to them that these farmers is vulnerable. Now, Solidarity always support sustainability agenda, but we need to do it in such a way that the farmers is not being vulnerable. So I don't know if you can see this screen that I'm sharing. I'm quoting the data that we have from Oil Palm Barometer produced by
Please share
Solidarity.
your screen. Yeah.
Yeah, can we see? Yeah. So this is just one page. If we can see here the overall profitability in the oil palm value chain, you can see that actually the retail and the large company FMCG at the end of the supply chain actually generating most of the income, where smallholders added value is about 6.1%. Now, if you minus the cost of inputs and everything, the farmer actually making close to 0% profit. Now, this align with what Fuji-san just now mentioned. The input cost is 2004, and then the produce cost is 2005. So now this way we try to increase the awareness and also being the bridge between the supply chain, so that the burden and the load of sustainability can be shared throughout the supply chain, where all the actors and stakeholders within the supply chain actually can support the oil palm smallholder in fulfilling the needs of this requirement and due diligence. Now, through our experience, all the farmers that we encountered, I would say more than 90% of them is willing to change. They wanted to change, they need guidance, and they need support in terms of finance, because they are so poor that they cannot afford all this access to information. They cannot have, some of them can't read. So actually, for example, Solidarity, we have translated the oil palm training module into native indigenous language, such as Dayak, Iban, and Bidayo. So these are some of the methods that actually cost money, but without that, this indigenous oil palm smallholder would not be able to understand those oil palm material written in English. So yeah, that is my view. Again, my point is, yes, most of the oil palm smallholders would like to change, would like to be more sustainable and protect the environment, but they need support in terms of guidance, and they need support in terms of finance. So yeah, that is my point. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。家に
I think my colleague Eddie will answer those questions.
Talking about sustainability, actually, since 2000, most of company try to develop their sustainability policy. And also since 2009, then they also have a policy about responsible sourcing policy to ensure that their supply chain clean and clear. It means not only from their plantation, but also from their supply, especially from the smallholder, have to comply with the global market standard. So from this reason, then the most activity that they deliver is how to trace the farm location with the traceability, and also they creating several activity to improve capacity of smallholder to produce palm oil with better management practices through GAP, and also they support the smallholder farmer to using not only chemical but also with organic matter by supporting them with empty fruit branch as material for the compost, and also solid like a waste from the mills that still make a soil fertile. I think those support that right now most company have in their supply chain. I think talking about that is several effort that company already established in our project area, and we also have cooperation with them how to develop this program if they have a limitation resource with our program support in the project area. Mas Willy, maybe you will add more information about that, please. Come on.
Yeah, I think in terms of the sustainability one, I think Eddie is already mentioned it. Yeah, that's from my side. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. 時間が、超過してしまいましたが、最後にですね、皆さんに一言ずつ、聴衆の皆さんにメッセージをお願いします。じゃあ、藤井先生からお願いします。
はい、今日は皆さんありがとうございました。Thank you for joining. And I'm very happy to with you. Thank you.
ありがとうございます。ラオさん。
Yeah, I mean, thank you. I have stressed more than once that the industry support is important again. So looking forward, if there's any opportunity that you can visit also our Malaysia, and of course, I think Yeni also. We will be glad to connect you with the actual ground, what is happening on the ground, and we will be glad to provide information as you needed. Thank you very much.
ありがとう。イエニさんお願いします。
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and we do hope that our field experience can also share some information for you or how actually behind this big industry there are smallholder farmers that day by day struggling. It's not only because of their capacity but also regulation also knock them, and then how we can also protect the environment. That's how Solidaridad role. We do our work on the ground to ensure they can continue do some farming with the good agriculture practices. They understand the knowledge, they know how to maintain their environment also. So we also need your support, Fuji-san. Thank you very much. We will improve our module of training also, and to improve our smallholder capacity. So for all the participants here, thank you very much. Don't forget, palm oil is a very healthy oil actually, but in Indonesia, like 95% we do all household mostly using palm oil as our cooking oil. So it is completely, your support is completely very meaningful for our smallholder and our production. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, Lau. Thank you, Denka-san and the team.
はい。ありがとうございました。